this. We're talking about the Roundhouse in the session this year, and I got you got me into I learned about capital outlay.
Capital outlay, yep.
You taught me about it, and it was you pointed me in the right direction, but it was just so intense with me, and also the ability. How you had to have precision on what you're saying. You only had I knew I could maybe get 3 minutes out of you.
Right, you feel bad.
No, but
you feel rude. You see a friend and you got to go. And but it is a trip. It's so intense for the members. We're one of the last states to have this old school 60-day, 30-day session. It's considered very short by other state standards. So it's intense, man. You walk into that roundhouse, everyone's trying to make something happen. It's a motivating place. Once you get to know folks firsthand, it becomes easier. But for you guys to go up there, never lobbying before, and to get $822,000 for the Hall of Fame Museum, it was a tremendous effort by you guys.
Well, it was rewarding, and the reason why it was rewarding, and I already said this to you just a minute ago. If I knew what I knew now, I probably wouldn't have done it. Okay, and this shows you. Hey, if you go in with enthusiasm and you just ask questions and you sit down and talk to people, it's amazing what you can get done.
Right.
But it kind of started out with we went to that's Marty Seiss and myself and Frank Castile and Dick Johnson, and then I want to thank also Alan Romeo. I mean, without you two, I mean he was like the perfect guy.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, we fit in with us, and we rode up in the car and everything, and basically, we got out, and he had his own little place where we could park, so I felt like a senator.
Heck yeah! No, Alan is a wealth of information. He was a city councilor, a county commissioner, as a aide to the mayor, so he knows his way around. He's a great man. But it was great. I mean, we have money now. I mean, it was so much easier to govern. It was painful, but it was easier to govern without money. Now we have tons of money like never before, and so it's a question of how do we spend it to build a future for New Mexico. So as you mentioned, our capital budget is a separate budget from the appropriations and government budget, in which we give money to towns, cities, schools, whomever, to build brick and mortar projects. So you can build a new gymnasium for the school, but you can't buy computers. So this capital outlay budget goes to either buying land or building on existing land, making things happen for the schools, the cities, infrastructure projects, sewage, zoning. So it was neat. So senators had $4.1 million to appropriate to spend on projects and there's maybe 50 projects you want to spend money on, but ultimately at the end of the day, you can only spend money on 20.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like 4,700 projects.
Right. Oh yeah, if you want to. So statewide, so by law, I could give money to Roswell High. You know what I mean? So you have like 4,000 statewide projects. You try to shrink it. You and your staff shrink it to a list of about 400. Then you get down to 50. And then you get into that nitty gritty. So those last 48 hours, and we got to turn out our list by say 5 o'clock on a Tuesday or whatever. That 3 o'clock on Tuesday, you're like, oh darn, I remember. So it's a difficult lobbying process, because if you're lobbying a bill and there's 9 members on the committee, you can get 5 votes. But lobbying capital, everyone's so indecisive. Oh, we'll keep you in mind and all this stuff. And then of course it becomes public 20 days after the session. And lo and behold, we got some money for some great projects.
I know. I tell you, I'll speak. One of the projects, and I don't think that was capital outlay. This was, and you can help me out on that. Was Connie Mack?
Yes.
That was huge, because for whatever reason, I remember talking. I don't know if you remember this or not, because
we've been working on this for a couple, 3 years, and Steve Arias, the late Steve Arias, spearheaded it a couple years back. Yeah.
So I go, Mo, I don't know anything about then he says, Steve, hey man, you better go talk to Lanier. He goes, I don't know where it's at, man. So I'm like, Holyfield. So I ran into his office and got in here. And
You're right. And of course, Senator Lanier's from Farmington. But there's been a sea change, and it's been slow. But I think we broke the dam this year. Because if we would have did a bill for NIL or did a bill for the UNM football stadium or did a bill for Connie Mack up in Farmington 5-10 years ago, it would have been laughed out of town because money was so tight. But now that we have extra money, how do we spend it in very smart ways? And we convinced our colleagues a couple years back. Connie Mack is, along with the New Mexico Bowl, the premier sporting event in the country. And it could be as big as the Little League World Series, even bigger because more Connie Mack participants play in the major leagues. It's very rare that a Little League World Series kid makes it to the majors. So we put in the tourism budget $400,000 to advertise and boost up Connie Mack, in addition to capital outlay for the baseball stadium. So we want to make Connie Mack a premier national event. We want it to be on national TV every year, and I think we're getting there with your leadership.
I got to bring something. You don't know this. I don't think you know this. Okay, this
everything. The last 10 days of the session, I don't remember a darn thing. So
and they did. It's the first year. Connie Mack is actually having a tournament July 1st for New Mexico to qualify.
That's right. Yes.
I didn't know if you knew that or not, but we're going to cover it.
Right. Because most years there's a New Mexico team, but that's not guaranteed. This would lock in a local team in that national team.
There's going to be Richard Neely, he's Connie Mack president, I think, of AABC, I think that's the name of it. He just told me that, they had 8 teams, but it's gotten so good, now they're up to 12.
Oh, heck yeah. It's back. It's back to pre-COVID levels and even before. And it's there's dozens, over 100 Major League ball players went to Connie Mack. So we had a few of them give a video presentation during one of the hearings. But yeah, it's fantastic, man. Connie Mack, to put that on the map. But that's where I work with the San Juan delegation. You got to work with members of the minority. You have to. Democrats think, well, we have the votes. We can do whatever we want. No, it's like you back us. It's called log rolling. It's a political science term. Well, we'll help you on your project. You help us on ours, and we can combine forces. So we worked with the leadership up in Farmington. Senator Lanier's fantastic. Senator Scher, and we got Connie Mack funded.
I'll tell you what, we're going to go to Evergard top 10 plays of the week and come back and talk more about the legislation.
Going to take third. English, the throw to Utash. Not in time, so 2 stolen bases here.
RBI single for Pine. His first time up, and now another one. Into left field, a base hit. 1 run scores. They will hold Marquez at third.
Here comes a pitch from Bertel. That ball is lifted and well hit to left. Long run, Martinez. It'll drop fair in front of the wall. It's an RBI double off the bat of Gonzalez. It's cut the lead in half.
The pitch is a high fly ball, deep to left, at the wall and off the wall. Runner will round third and come home. Cutoff man bobbles it. And Sandia will get a run back on the RBI double by Floyd.
Colton Floyd rips that one towards center. That one's going to drop. It'll score Sotelo. Figueroa Brito comes across as well. They will not attempt a throw to home point. A 2-run, 2 RBI double.
Yes, that fastball flat again. Off-speed pitch pulled to the left side there. Long run, plenty of room. And a sliding catch in left by Smith. Put us.
The northeast side of Albuquerque, that one's lined into left center field. That ball is hit! What a catch by the left fielder out there! That's Salas.
That one's tapped back up the middle. It's a high hop to Cirilio Martinez. And that's a double play. 6-3 stepped on the bag. This is a 1-1. Tap back to short. Martinez has to wait on it. He'll step on the bag for one. They'll scoop it first. In time for the 6-3 double play ball. Second time today that Cirilio Martinez.
Chopper, and that one's going to hit the gap. That'll score Byers. Utash on a full head of steam all the way to home plate. Throw is not in time. A 2 RBI single for JD Diaz.
Breaking ball, he got the pitch he needed, lifts it deep to left center, looks up and it's gone! Braden Reynolds starts the Cars. It's a 3-run homer. And game number 2 comes to an abrupt end as the Bears explode in inning number 5.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Back, Steve Davis Show. We got Moe Maestas, Senator of District 26, West Mesa. Legislation it starts, but it seems like it's a long time, but it goes by quick, doesn't it?
It goes by quick, man. When you're in the roundhouse, you don't know what the weather's like. You don't know what day it is. You're just in the grind. You're just living in the moment. But a lot of excitement. It's a great time for New Mexico. I think New Mexico, Albuquerque in particular, is going to take off here in the short while. But a lot of good conversations, a lot of new members, and like we talked about, a lot of opportunity because of the money we have. And so we finally, and you realize the history of state government was historically underfunded. We didn't have a 30-day session till the 30s. When we got some money in the 50s, we put it in a trust account. Now we have tons of money because of crude oil drilling and other endeavors. And so now it's like a question of how do we spend it to the benefit of our future. So a lot of money into roads, infrastructure projects, a lot of money into cities and towns, community centers. So I want to put money into, ballparks, ball fields, and quality of life for our kids.
Well, I learned something when I was up there. So I went to the Republican dinner before.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay, I went up there.
They didn't let me into that one.
Oh, they didn't let you in? You could have came with me. They were talking about how old the industry is. It was like they give back like $1 million an hour.
Oh, it's amazing. No, it's amazing.
Because they were talking about how much marijuana was bringing into the deal, and
peanuts.
And I was with Marty Seiss, and he says, "Well, yeah, we only need 20 hours. We only need $20 million.
You don't realize that growing up in Albuquerque, we produce more crude oil than any other state except for Texas, and we'll probably pass them here pretty soon. But down by Carlsbad, Hobbs, the Permian Basin has some of the richest oil reserves in the world. It's insane. So we just got to use this money wisely and build a future for the kids.
Well, this was a bill, and it was. I think I had a little part to do with it. It was that NIL money for for a deal, and you got to meet Kurt Roth and.
Kurt does a great job. He's a godsend to the program. New Mexico played a key role in NIL. We passed our NIL bill in March of 21, and it kicked in July 1st of 21. There wasn't this delay like California and the other states. So on July 1st, 2021, 4 states were going to legalize NIL. The day before, on June 30th, 2021, the NCAA then finally allowed NIL. And now the Supreme Court has opened the doors for essentially revenue sharing. So before it would have to go through a nonprofit like 505, Kurt Roth's organization. Now, theoretically, it could go through the athletic department budget. So that's the future of college athletics, revenue sharing. I'm in Ohio State. They didn't necessarily buy players, but they kept all their players from year before last and won the national title. So we introduced a bill, $2.5 million for NIL for Aggies Lobos, and we didn't get laughed out of town. It was a serious conversation as to how this money parlays into economic growth and the face of the institution, the face of our state. And so that was a successful hearing, and we put that money in the budget. So we have money, $2.5 million additional dollars for UNM Athletics to free up their budget to do other creative things for their football and basketball program.
Well, and I heard a lot of conversation, and you may have said this, or Kurt, because talking with you over this time, is basically it's instead of investing in the facilities, we're investing in the people going to school, and that you get. Well, people know that they can go play football or play and they can make money. That's huge.
That's huge. It's huge. It's what's the best bang for the buck? And the best bang for the buck is keeping quality players here, recruiting 3 stars and getting some good transfers. It took Rocky Long 5-6 years to build a winning program. In the old days, now we can build a winning football program in 2 years, with NIL money. So we got to just acknowledge the realities of the situation and compete with the rest of the teams in our conference.
And that 2.5 is for all programs, or is it just for football and basketball, or is it broken down?
No, it's not broken down. Yeah. It's for the athletic department. It's for the athletic department. So we could have successful golf, tennis, women's soccer, women's basketball. It's for the entire athletic department, but the economics of athletics, it all stems from football. And that's hard for us to realize here in Albuquerque because basketball has kept us alive for so long, but the success of our athletic department is going to come from money derived from football, bowl games, TV revenues. So it's really important to have a successful football program, to have a successful athletic program.
I'll tell you, let's take a break and let's come back and talk more about all the good things that happen at the legislature this year.
All right, sounds great.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Moe Maestas here, District 26 Senator and West Mesa. Mo, I tell you, we talk about that's exciting about UNM athletics. Okay,
It's great.
because you invest. You're only as good as what people invest in. And if you invest in your youth and things, and gives excitement where we don't lose players.
Right. Yeah, you can't lose players. We got to keep the homegrown players to come to UNM. But so we got $11 million in capital for stadium upgrade and stadium design. My dream would be have a modern 35,000 seat stadium similar to Colorado State or San Diego State. They're not building 80,000 seat stadiums anymore. Everybody has gorgeous big screens in their living room. But if we can have a 35,000 modern stadium, pack it every Saturday, I think that'd be the dream.
Well, I just realized you love football, man. I thought you were a basketball guy, but now you love that football.
No, I'm a football guy. I was the Rudy of my team at Valley, and probably why I have short-term memory loss these days. But I love the game of football. It's a marvelous game, and it's what this country loves. I mean, college football has just taken off the last 10, 15 years, and it's a big business. So we definitely got to compete. I think we can compete. We have great coach, great coaches have come from the South to Albuquerque. Albuquerque Metro has won the last 9 big state high school football championships. So that's a switch. When we were kids, it was the South that dominated. Old Clovis played some good ball back in the day.
Well, they're a little bit. Don't bring Clovis up. Right? It's a bad subject at this point, but I just remembered first thing I go into your office and I look up. I don't know if you remember this or not, because you were busy and you had like a bunch of people in your office, and I don't know. You saw me looking at the helmets, and you made a little comment. You says, "Yeah, I got Westerns. Excuse me. I got Highlands. I've got Easterns. I've got UNM. I got New Mexico State.
I got NEMI.
Yeah,
but I needed Western.
Yeah, and you go and you said it like that, just like that. You go, yeah, I just need a Western, and I go, well, I'm gonna get Moe, man. So I call Western, and I come walking. I walked through. I thought I was like a celebrity. I walked in with the Western, and you didn't know it was amazing how many people were saying, "Oh, Western." I graduated. I went this, and I'm just carrying a helmet with Western.
That was a beautiful gift. I had a nice note from the athletic director. But New Mexico is a great state. You don't realize how big it is, how rural it is, but it's a great state. You don't need to know all the politicians. You just need to know one. Get to know your senator in your neighborhood or your House member. Invite them to your high school game. Coaches have a lot of political power. Sports personalities have political power. They just gotta drop that dime and make stuff happen. So we can hopefully get some more money for coaches, bring in more people that want to coach that may not be able to, and more money for facilities and more money for little leagues and soccer fields, all that good stuff that's coming around the future.
Well, I tell you, and you get it done. I mean, you and I have gotten close probably over the last 4 or 5 years. Okay, it's going back to gladiator days and going back to Connie Mack and our buddy Marty Watts.
Right. Love Marty.
Marty got us going together, and then I'll never forget. You came in the office one day, and it snapped that Frank was your dad. Well,
right.
I go, well, that
makes sense.
I go, who is this guy? And then you remember we went in and I have he did articles on me and had things like that.
Right. Because I don't want to date you, but I was at your games when I was a little kid.
It's okay.
Of course, my dad's Frank Maestas. He wrote sports for the Journal all those years. So I learned the love of sports from a community perspective, that it means something to people, means something to communities, and it brings people together. It transcends age, race, culture, politics. It's really brings us together.
Right down the middle, because
100%.
Democrats, Republicans, Independents, whatever, they all play sports. And it's and they got to learn to work together. It's amazing. Sports has been my whole life.
So there's sports in state statute. You have the Racing Commission, which deals with horse racing and the relationship between the racinos and the horsemen. You have the Athletic Commission, which deals with boxing and MMA. So I did a boxing MMA bill, which died on the Senate floor. It was the very next bill to be called. If we would have had 10 more minutes, but we stop at noon that Saturday. So next year we'll revive the Athletic Commission so that boxing promoters don't have to pay fees back state government was on a shoestring budget, so boxing promoters would pay a fee to the state when they did a boxing match. We want to eliminate those fees. We want to show the promoters some love and hopefully get some out-of-state promoters back in town as well.
I'll tell you what, Mo, our time's running out. I just want to thank you for coming on. Also, thanks for the sincerity. And anybody, I'm saying this, you do this for anybody. I mean, I'm just saying it's not. If you think it's
Thanks,
the right,
Steve, appreciate it.
if you do it, if you think it's the right thing and the right thing to do, it doesn't matter who you are. You'll talk to them and listen to them, and that's a quality I don't want you to ever forget.
Sure won't. Thank you so much, Steve. Thanks for having me on.
All right, have a good.
All right, awesome.